the COVID-19 outbreak turned into a pandemic when Turkey and Russia agreed on a truce. But there were little hopes that the truce will last long. But on the other hand, the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights says that in March there has been the lowest death toll since the conflict started. Is it because of the danger of the pandemic spread that the warring factions have reduced their activity in the country?
I think that's certainly a factor. We have to recall that this pandemic is spreading widely and quickly. And when you have a refugee crisis, when you have internally displaced persons who don't have access to sanitation, there is a huge risk that it will spread even further. I certainly know from my experiences before that Erdogan himself was concerned over refugee buildup coming in from Syria into Turkey. And that will be even more of a concern now, because he will now say, on top of possible refugees, we would also have the risk of infection. Let's not forget that Turkey has some of the highest infection rates right now within the Middle East. So they're already struggling. And I think they would be very careful at this point to ensure that the ceasefire holds, if only to maintain or to minimize ongoing infection rates and the risk of refugees coming in who may also be infected.
Okay, Mr. Ghani, think that this pandemic has actually made the warring factions in Syria in particular more cautious, and they have reduced their activity in the country?
Indeed, actually, we noticed that in our monitoring that the casualties is declining and the lowest month. But our concern actually and our focus in elsewhere, which we are focusing on the detainees. Actually, we are afraid of the widespread in between the detainees of the COVID-19, due that the regime till this moment seizing and capture at least 130,000 Syrian in his center detentions.